Welcome back to Station Psychology. It's a fact that life is full of problems. Many a times we're able to solve those problems without much effort. But sometimes the solution seems almost impossible to reach. Lack of relevant knowledge or paucity of time may be the reason in many cases, but sometimes it is because of some subtle reasons. In this particular video, we are going to discuss some of those interesting aspects of problem solving. Now see, whenever we confront any problem, the first thing that we do is representing or viewing the problem in a particular manner. But what if that very mental representation of the problem is erroneous? This is what is called the representation problem. Let me give you an example. This is called the hiking monk's problem. It was said by Karl Dunkner in 1945. Let's imagine this to be a hill. This is the base of the hill, point A, and point B is the hilltop. A monk starts his ascending journey at 5 a.m. from this point, reaches this point, he starts his journey at a speed of 1.5 miles per hour from point A and reaches point B at 4 p.m. He spends his night there. Next morning, exactly at the same time he had started the journey on the earlier day, that is at 5 a.m., he starts his descent. He descends at a speed of 3.5 miles per hour from point B to point A. The question is, will there be any point on the road which the monk would cross exactly at the same time on both the days? The answer should be in yes or no. Now, most of us would approach this problem in the manner we approach other time and distance problems, trying to get the solution or arrive at the solution by using the units of time, speed and distance. But that would lead us to unnecessary complicated calculations. We can arrive at the answer very quickly, but only if we think out of the box. The answer is yes. Now, how can we arrive at the answer? Instead of imagining one monk making his journey on 2 consecutive days, if we imagine 2 monks starting their journey simultaneously at 5 a.m. from the 2 opposite points, that is one starting from point B heading towards point A, another starting from point A and heading towards point B, both starting at 5 a.m. simultaneously, won't there be a point where the 2 monks would cross? Obviously they would cross at one particular point at one particular moment. So the answer is yes, and it holds true even for one monk making the journey on 2 consecutive days. The tendency to stick to familiar problem solving techniques is due to what is called the mental set. Thinking out of the box by overcoming this mental set is possible by keeping an open mind, allowing for the free flow of thoughts, even if the thoughts are uncommon and unconventional. Let me tell you about a very interesting case. Once PepsiCo decided to cut down on the amount of sodium in its potato chips without compromising with the taste. It sought suggestion from different food and snack companies, but the effort went in vain. So PepsiCo decided to share its challenge with a wide range of companies, including those that have nothing to do with the food industry. And very interestingly, the solution came from the orthopedics department of a global research lab which had developed a technology to manufacture nanosalt particles for advanced research on osteoporosis. Another impediment towards problem solving is a type of cognitive bias called functional fixedness. This is our tendency to use objects in their traditional ways or in ways they had been used earlier. Now see, thinking is a cognitive process. Functional fixedness has to do with bias in thinking. So, functional fixedness can be considered as a cognitive bias. Now let me give you an example of functional fixedness. Suppose we need to open a screw and we don't have a screwdriver at hand. In most cases, we would spend a lot of time, or rather waste time, searching for a screwdriver, overlooking the fact that maybe a common kitchen knife may be used in place of a screwdriver. Functional fixedness is a term coined by German-born Gestalt psychologist Karl Dankner, the very person who formulated the hiking monk's problem that we discussed earlier. Gestalt is a German word whose rough English translation is form or figure. Gestalt psychologists believe that cognitive processes like perception and thinking are complex, holistic processes rather than the sum of their constituent parts. The philosophy or idea of Gestalt psychology lies at the root of the concept of functional fixedness. I am planning to make a full video on Gestalt psychology where I would explain the relationship between Gestalt psychology and functional fixedness. Thank you so much for watching my video.